So the set of this one is now where I'm going to kind of have to teach you something new here. Okay, so all this time so far, this chapter we've been talking about linear functions. So you've seen a bunch of lines everywhere on all the graphs. Now we're talking about graphing exponential functions. Okay, so remember, exponential functions are the ones that start out slow and get really, really big, really, really fast. They flatten out, never cross zero, and then they go all the way up to infinity on the other side. Okay, so the first thing they ask you is to think about the graphs of y equals 2 to the x power, so that's exponential, and then y equals 2 to the x power minus 4. Okay, so they're asking you to think about those two graphs. Alright, so as you think about it, I'm going to circle and highlight the main difference here. So then they're going to say, predict what you think is the same and what is different. Well, judging from what we just did before, if the difference says minus, if one says minus 4 at the end, to me, I think it's going to be moved down 4. So I think that the y-intercept is going to be a little bit different. Now, the same, you might think to say the slope, but these don't have a constant slope. Okay, so what we want to talk about here, you're right, is that the picture is it's going to be the same picture, like they're going to go up the same amount. So the way that we're going to talk about this is we're going to say that they have the same shape. Okay, so instead of slope now, for linear, for exponential ones, we're going to say these graphs have the same shape. They're both exponential curves. One of them is just going to be moved down 4, though. That's my prediction, at least. Again, this is a total prediction, so it doesn't matter at all if you're right or wrong. You're guessing. Okay, part B is the important part, and it's the easier part too, because you get to use your calculator to graph both equations on the same grid. Okay, so you're all going to want to get the app. We've talked about it already, Desmos, if you don't have it. If you do, that will graph it. This app will graph it for you. Okay, you type in everything to the right of the equal sign. And it'll graph both of them for you. Okay? Then it tells you to explain what stayed the same and what changed when you subtracted 4. So here you're basically, part A, you're making a prediction. Part B, you're using technology to test your prediction. Okay?